Hey guys. Yo, 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 yo. If you guys hear any extra voices in the background, that's my family. They're watching the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Buffalo Bills right now on TV. I actually got the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams on my TV, but I can't watch it if I want to. So if you hear them, don't mind them. It's just family, just enjoying the Sunday football. It is what it is. But we have not done a podcast in a while, so I want to take this time to thank each and every single one of you who have still been subscribing. I still see people subscribing. I still am very, very thankful for you guys' support, for you guys being patient with me as I try to navigate this home situation. If you guys don't know what's going on, or if you've forgotten, my grandmother has cancer, has liver cancer. We are looking at options to get that treated. We are at the point to where we're deciding either can it be chemotherapy or can it be, radiation treatment. But those options are being considered. We're not all the way there yet, but we're making strides to get my grandmother healthy. Please continue to be patient with me. We're almost home free, and I'm almost able to make content on a regular basis again because of it. With that being said, welcome everybody to the next edition of the B&G Breakdown Podcast. I'm your boy, Hudak Davis. If you guys don't know, you will know over here. We bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. Look, if you're in a good mood, great. But if you're not in a good mood like I am, then this is the place for you. The New Orleans Saints hosted the Cincinnati Bengals today, and they lost 30-26. Look, I will be honest. I did not go into this game expecting a win anyway. I originally had the Saints losing today 38-33 because of the injuries in the secondary without Marshawn Lattimore, without P.J. Williams, with guys coming off the street like Chris Harris Jr. playing in the slot against a seasoned veteran receiver in Tyler Boyd, with Jamar Chase on the outside against Bradley Roby, who the Saints favored over C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'm starting to regret that decision. With that being said, look, there were a lot of mixed parts and a lot of moving pieces in the Saints secondary, with the exception of Tyrann Mathieu and Marcus May, who was active today for the New Orleans Saints, who I thought was going to be a big boost in that backfield. But look, overall, I expected the Saints to lose, but this isn't an I told you so stream. We're here to talk about why the Saints have lost and what do they need to do to steer the ship in a hurry in the right direction again, because not only did the Saints lose today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers and they're down 3-3. So we are still only a game behind the Bucks, and the Falcons won against the San Francisco 49ers. Look, this division is not great at all, and it's looking like the Panthers may pull an upset with P.J. Walker against the defending Super Bowl champion, the Los Angeles Rams. This division is wide open. The Saints have as good a shot as any to come away with a division lead. They have a chance, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot because of multiple reasons. We're going to start with the good, though. I'm thoroughly pleased, and honestly, I'm surprised with the New Orleans Saints offense. They are just wild in there. You hear them? But the offense for the New Orleans Saints was an honest surprise for me today. They are a run-first team, and I seem to have finally found their identity in the run game with Alvin Kamara, with Taysom Hill, with Mark Ingram having a little bit of a burst in his step today. The run game was about as you would expect if you're looking at last week and you're hoping for a repeat performance. They pretty much did that and a little bit more. The Saints were in position to win this game, but the defense failed them. I am not too surprised with the performance overall with the receiving core. Like, they have some good spots. Tre'Quan Smith had a overall okay game. I wouldn't say decent, just okay. Marquez Callaway still not getting separation. Keith Kirkwood had a couple of catches for first downs. Juwan Johnson came up with a couple of catches for a couple of first downs. This was a game where you have to manage it and just hope that your defense can get a couple of key stops. The Saints defense didn't do that. Shout out to Alvin Kamara, shout out to Mark Ingram, shout out to Taysom Hill, shout out to Andy Dalton for managing the game as it was supposed to be managed. It was supposed to be managed that way. Andy Dalton was not lighting up the scoreboard with his stats, but he was efficient. He was about as efficient as you could hope for, right? He didn't, like I said, he had about 180, maybe 190 I say a little under 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns, maybe one if I'm not mistaken. But look, man, Dalton did everything you possibly could have asked for him. If the run game was working, you get a couple of completions to your receivers. Traquan Smith had a nice catch on the sideline against Eli Apple. My mom is a Buffalo Bills fan, so that means the Chiefs probably came away with a big play there. Yeah, you probably hear that. She's not a Saints fan. You know what I'm saying? She hates Saints, and she was rubbing my face before I got on live, so I'm gonna have to give it to her later if the Buffalo Bills lose. But back to the Saints real quick. Andrews Pete and Adam Troutman leaving due to injury was killer. It was killer because when the Saints needed to get a first down on the ground the most, it was without Adam Troutman, without Andrews Pete in the lineup. The Cincinnati Bengals got to stop when they needed it. And like just before the 2-minute warning, and then Blake Gillikin shanked the punt that put the Bengals at the 40-yard line, at their own 40, and then bang, bang, boom, Jamar Chase goes down the sideline after a missed tackle again by Bradley Roby for 60 yards. He finished the day with 132 yards and 2 tubs. 132, 2 tubs is going to get you beat almost every single time. And then you got Bradley Roby on the other side. Not Bradley Roby. You got Chris Harris Jr., the guy they signed to the practice squad and elevated. Chris Harris Jr. got worked inside by Tyler Boyd, expected, because that's normally where Bradley Roby is supposed to play. But that wasn't the case. It's unfortunate. But the biggest critic I have right now, outside of the slot corner, because that was an absolutely abysmal performance by Chris Harris Jr., and Joe Burrow took advantage of it, is the Saints defensive line. We talked so much about the Saints D-line and how they finished so strongly last season. Me especially. Cam Jordan finished last year with 12.5. Marcus Davenport finished with 9. David Onyemata came on strong in a couple of games. Tano Passignon hasn't been able to get going. He finished with, I think, 4, maybe 5 sacks, and he was leading the team in sacks at one point. Buffalo Bills. Anyway, the Saints D-line hasn't been able to get any pressure. For whatever rhyme or reason, I don't know. But it's been a problem. It has continued to be a problem. The only sacks that have come in this game were from Demario Davis and Caden Ellis. Demario Davis finished with 2 sacks on the year. Well, 2 sacks on the day, excuse me. Caden Ellis finished with 1. You got another 3 sacks. Okay, great. But your D-line was supposed to get pressure with their front 4, so you're not compromising your back end. They didn't do that. Marcus Davenport looks sluggish. Cam Jordan looks like he's getting double teams and chips from tight ends and running backs. But he still hasn't been able to win the one-on-one matchups on the outside against Lyle Collins, of all people. You've seen the Dallas Cowboys tear them up with just the front 4. You've seen what the Baltimore Ravens did last week with their front 4. They got pressure. The Saints team just has not been able to get pressure. The interior, Malcolm Roach, Shai Tuttle, these guys, for whatever reason, they're not getting pressure. You need to get pressure. And here's the one thing that really irritates me, right? One thing that they're supposed to be good at is stopping the run. Cam Jordan has always preached, stop the run, you get to have some fun. No one stopped the run today. It was not egregious, but it was still effective to the point to where it kept Bengals drives alive, and that's unacceptable. You're supposed to stop the run first. That's what this team has always been based on. Since 2017, they've always prided themselves on stopping the run. They haven't been able to do that for whatever reason. I get you guys have to compensate by taking away elite receivers, but that front still has to stop the run. You stop the run first. Now imagine what the Arizona Cardinals are going to do this coming Thursday when they run the RPO game with James Conner, who I'm assuming is going to be coming back, and Kyler Murray, elite speed runner Kyler Murray. Are you going to be able to stop them? I'm sure once they're able to stop it today, the RPO game is just hurting this defense. The quick passes, runs after the catch, runs after contact, yards after contact. This defense has been letting down this offense, who has put up an average of 31 points a game in over the last 2 weeks. The Saints have a top 10 offense this season. They're ranked 7th in total offense, ranked number 7. I assume is going to stay that way. But that's all for naught if you can't stop anything on the opposite side. You're forcing your offense in a situation to where they have to bail you out, and they don't have the firepower on that side yet because they're still dealing with injuries to Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Olave, who I assume is going to be coming back on Thursday. Your defense has to play better, and Dennis Allen should understand that. Chris Rashad should understand that. Ryan Nielsen should understand that, but they, for whatever reason, they haven't addressed the D-line yet. They have to address the D-line if they're going to have any prayer of seeing the postseason. And the crazy part is they still have a chance. That's the crazy part, guys. If the Saints would have found a way to win this game, they would have been in a 3-way tie at 3-3 in the division. 3-way tie between the Saints, the Bucs, and the Falcons, who are being the NFC South after today with the win over the San Francisco 49ers because of conference record. Like, that's how bad the division is right now. The Saints, if they can stop shooting themselves in the damn foot and actually win a game they're supposed to win, they're actually in position to win, they'd be leading the division by now. Tom Brady has looked like a shell of his former self, even with Mike Evans, even with Leonard Fournette, even with Chris Godwin, even with Kate Otten, who's been coming on a little more decently, even with that stout defense with Levante David, Devin White, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, their back end, and Antoine Winfield and Mike Edwards with their corners, and Jamel Dean, who's been pretty good in man coverage, and Carlton Davis. They are 3-3 still. They are 3-3. You could have been right there. You could have been half a game behind. But this just isn't it. If the Saints lose on Thursday against the Cardinals, the season's over. Forget having a playoff run. They won't be there. They won't be there, period. Thursday is do or die for the New Orleans Saints. I don't care what happens later on in the year. If the Saints don't win on Thursday, they have no shot at making the playoffs. None. Because that means you are going to be 2-4 in your conference. 2-4 in your conference. That is bad. That's absolutely bad. You can't have that. You absolutely can't have that. Especially when you look at the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, who are still finding ways with Cooper Rush, with the New York Giants, who I believe might have beaten Baltimore today. I don't know. I had to look at that. I had to look at the results of that. But the New York Giants, like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles. Hell, the New York Jets just smacked the Green Bay Packers and they're 4-2. The Green Bay Packers are 2-4. Think about that for a second. The Packers are 2-4. 2-4. The Rams' offense looks abysmal, even with Cooper Kupp. No run game to speak of. Matthew Stafford has been a dumpster fire so far this season. The conference is right there for the taking. But the Saints just don't seem to want it bad enough. They don't seem to want it bad enough, and it drives me nuts. Thursday is going to be very telling for the New Orleans Saints. Like, I'm tired of moral victories. I'm tired of looking at the bright side of things when I know what this team is capable of. On paper, they have about as talented a roster as any in the NFC, if not one of the most talented rosters in the NFC on paper. For some reason, they can't put it together. As far as the quarterback situation goes, I'm still Team Jameis. I don't care what anybody says. I'll ride that Team Jameis train until the wheels fall off or until it hits its final destination, which is the Super Bowl. Whether it be good or bad, I'm riding that train, and I'll take my praise or I'll take my flack, however it may come. But I still believe a healthy Jameis gives this team the chance to win this game, to win games going forward. One thing that Andy Dalton doesn't have compared to Jameis, and I will admit, he's been efficient, right? I just said earlier, he's been efficient. It's just the element of the deep ball. Y'all can, naysayers and Jameis can say what they want, but the ability to push the ball down the field opens up so much else for the New Orleans Saints offense. It opens up so much in the middle of the field and the intermediate stuff. I believe Jameis could get it done. I really do. Think about it. The Saints offense is running so efficiently this year. So efficiently. Imagine what Jameis can do for this offense with a stout running game. Because it sucks up those linebackers. It forces the defensive coordinators to commit more resources to stopping a run. And what does that do, everybody? That opens up so much stuff down the field. Deep field shots. Chris Olave, maybe Jarvis Landry, Rashid Shaheed, who I am very, very impressed with today. He wasn't featured much. He wasn't. But from a little small sample size, I'm happy for him. A 44-yard touchdown run. That dude got speed for days. He was clocked at about 19 yards an hour on that 44-yard touchdown run. Elusive, protected the football. Hoping to see a little more on special teams. But I like what I saw out of Rashid Shaheed, and I hope they feature him a little bit more going forward as he gets acclimated to the first team offense. Because if he has an even better game on Thursday, then I think that he's going to claim Deontay Hardy's spot. I really do think so. Because think about it, guys. Think about this. Let's say Deontay Hardy comes back from IR. That means with the addition of Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, someone is going to get cut. Someone is going to end up being waived, cut, whatever the case may be. If you end up stringing together strong performances with Rashid Shaheed as your return man or a deep ball specialist, do you have any idea how small of a chance it would be for him to clear waivers or being able to make it back to the Saints practice squad? There's just no way. Everybody healthy, it'll be Thomas, Landry, Olave, Smith, Callaway. It's 5. Hardy would make 6. If those top 3 come back, it'll be those 3 with Smith, Callaway, Shaheed. Keith Kirkwood most likely going to get released. Not too worried about Keith Kirkwood, even though he had a couple of nice catches for first downs, right? If I had the chance to choose between Rashid Shaheed and Deontay Hardy, who hasn't been doing much for you on either offense or your special teams unit, who has put the ball on the ground at least twice, if I'm not mistaken, then I like my chances. I like taking my chances with Shaheed. I like taking my chances with him. I really do. But that's only assuming he put together the drive of showing just continuous flashes. He can't be one up, one down. He has to be consistent going forward, right? So that's just hinging on that. Look, guys, overall, Thursday is do or die. Either the Saints win Thursday and they continue to keep their playoff hopes alive, or they fall to the Arizona Cardinals and the Saints season is over. They have to win. I don't care how they do it. Will they win? I believe so. Because I believe the Saints kept out Olave, they kept out Landry to get them healthy, knowing that they're going to be playing 2 games within a 5-day stretch. And guys coming off injury, I doubt will do much. But if they don't, it's going to be a long day. As to the defensive line, Wow, she is really into it. With that being said, the Saints have to address their defensive line. I don't care how, they have to address it. They need to find someone. They need to bring in guys for some workouts. They need to trade for somebody. I don't know who, but if they are dead serious, if they are dead set on winning the NFC South and making a shot at the playoffs, then they have to find someone for the defensive line, for the defensive interior, because it's just not working. It's absolutely not working. And you're asking too much out of your Bang secondary, knowing your front four isn't getting home. Pete Werner Pete Werner's my guy, right? He had a great day. Great day. Well, great season, mind you. That being said, man, he had an off day. He had an off day in coverage. He missed a crucial sack that would have put them well behind the chains. Joe Burrow is just that guy, man. He's elusive as a motherfucker. I hate it. I want this team. If this team could so much just make the playoffs, just make the playoffs. If you just make the playoffs, I don't care how it ends. Just make the playoffs, and I'll be good. Because of how this started, I'll take a playoff appearance and live for another season. That's just me, though. Right? I want to take this time to thank everybody who's in the chat right now. The Last Saint, Team Mama saying Pete always hurt. That is true. It's unfortunate. And I don't think we're going to have him for Thursday either, which is going to really hurt the run game because he was really, really good when it comes to being a pulling guard. I think he has a pectoral injury from how he was grabbing at it. The Last Saint, he was here. Appreciate you, man. The OG, Jerry Poor. This team is garbage. Look, the offense is finding its rhythm. The defense just needs to get healthy. Please, for the love of God, get healthy. Get some guys back. Please. Something. Damien, what's going on with you? Damien says, this be the contract year for Davenport as of now. The guy isn't, if this continues the year. So I'm assuming you're asking if this is going to be Marcus Davenport's last season with the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to say for the moment, yes. And not just with Marcus Davenport, with almost the entire defensive line. They need a serious remake of that defensive unit. They spent so much capital everywhere else. They neglected it by filling the interior with unproven, undrafted guys. I love Malcolm Roach. I love me some Malcolm Roach because I am a Texas Longhorns fan. Hook 'em, right? But he and Shy Tuttle are giving you nothing in the passing game. In terms of pass rush, they're absolutely ghosts. That's not going to work. Not with your schedule. You've got some premier guys coming up. The Rams, the Panthers again, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Raiders. Look, those guys have to find some way to address it, and in short order. And I hate it because this team has so much potential. They're just pissing it away because they don't want to. They're showing they're not serious enough. It looks like we got the Honey Badger at the end of his career. He's a shell of what he used to be. I may have been wrong about Tyrann Mathieu. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's not even just Tyrann Mathieu, right? It's like the secondary just doesn't want to hit anybody. I'm trying to find out why. Why is that? Why are they so scared to make a tackle? Why are they overrunning plays? Why are they overshooting players? Hitting the wrong gaps. It just makes no sense. They're not playing fundamental football that we're so used to seeing out of the secondary. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't care if you're called up from the practice squad. I don't care if you're from out of the streets. Bradley Roby, you were favored over CD Deuce. You are the primary reason why Dennis Allen decided to trade CD Deuce to the Philadelphia Eagles. Why are you missing tackles? The Saints had 5, maybe even 6 missed tackles today. It's unacceptable, man. You can't have that. Why? What is with this team? And wrapping up, you see someone in front of you, you see the ball being thrown away, throttle down.
Run, throttle down, force them inside, and then make the play. Even when they wrap up, guys are still getting yards after contact, 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 yards after contact. They're not physical. They're not physical enough. It's like Marcus May and Marshawn Lattimore are the only two guys that wants to hit. It's like C.D. Deuce's presence and his physicality as a slot corner was really sucked an air out of the identity of what we thought was an overall unit. And it's so bizarre to me. They should be better than this, right? It's do or die time, Saints. It's do or die time. If you do not win on Thursday at Arizona, the season is over. I start looking at fielding trades, trying getting some draft capital if you don't win on Thursday, because there's no chance of you making the playoffs. Not with your schedule. Absolutely not. You have to win on Sunday. Otherwise, start looking at trading some people. Start looking at trading Marcus Davenport. Start looking into trading some other guys. Because this ain't it. It's not it at all. But that being said, your boy is out. I'm going to go rejoin the family in the living room to watch the Chiefs and the Bills. It's a fun game from what I'm hearing up there. And, Nana's up there, family's here. Look, it's that time to be with family, right? So enjoy your Sunday. If you're on Twitter, don't be. It is a mess right now. I got my Twitter over here on my other side on the screen. It is a mess right now. Jesus Christ. But enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys, as much as you can. I'll see you guys Thursday for a pregame show. Yes, I will be doing a pregame show Thursday for the New Orleans Saints taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I'll see you guys in a few days. And as always, if you guys don't know, you will know. Over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I'll check you guys out next time.